She began to coordinate photo shoots for clients at the agency. Being a quick study, by the time she was 30, she had worked her way up to account executive. Jessie had a charisma that attracted the attention of almost anyone who entered the doors of Leland and Burroughs. Her alluring smile and the sparkle in her eyes made her instantly likable. She was warm and open to all those with whom she came into contact. It didn't matter who they were or where they came from. As far as she was concerned, everyone deserved respect. Until they screwed up. The ad agency shared the floor with a local radio station, and after spending 11 years in the building, she had become friends with some of the staff. One evening last year, just as she was about to push the elevator button, Brian, the sound engineer, came running out of the studio, grabbed her by the arm, and tossed a headset at her.
"Quick, come with me. I need you to sit in for Megan."
Apparently, the regular host of the advice for the Lovelorn segment, Megan Masters, Love Doctor, had thrown another one of her hissy fits and stormed out over some perceived slight. Wait, what? Jessie had no idea what Brian was talking about as he gently dragged her into the studio.
Megan split, had another meltdown. Apparently the coffee wasn't French roasted enough. It will only be 2 hours. Fake it, whatever. They're mostly a bunch of lonely people who want someone to talk to.
He pointed her to the sound booth, gave her a shove, and christened her
Dr. Ritchie, romance professor.
God, how she hated that name. After a week's absence, it became abundantly clear that Megan Masters had no intention of returning, and Jessie, a.k.a. Dr. Ritchie, seemed to be holding her own. Within a very short time, listeners were blogging, posting, and tweeting about the new love professor and how much better she was, more compassionate, a good listener, asked good questions, gave good, sound advice, and was often very funny. Dr. Ritchie, romance professor, was becoming the new it girl of the wounded and heartbroken. By the end of the 3rd week, the station manager offered her the segment on a full-time basis. The pay was adequate and the hours easy. She could keep her day job at the ad agency and work her 2-hour radio shift 5 nights a week. Although she didn't have a degree in psychology, having majored in English literature or any other formal training for what she was doing, she certainly had enough experience in the romance department. She knew from sometimes bitter experience all of the what not to do's. Under the circumstances, Jessie decided that the best thing she could do was to maintain a low profile. Though she was by no means a shrinking violet, fame for its own sake had no appeal, and she wasn't doing the program to satisfy her ego. She sincerely wanted to help people, and she already had a full-time job. Accordingly, extracurricular activities to promote the show were of no interest, and she made sure that was part of the deal when she agreed to take on the spot. The station could blog, post, and tweet, but personal appearances were not going to happen. She didn't want to find herself defending her position as an advice giver. She knew how mean-spirited people could be, especially on social media. With pure sincerity and without a lot of hype, she became a very popular mentor to the relationship-weary. After a year of balancing both jobs, she had little time to look for a partner of her own. Listening to all of her callers' tales of woe, she often thought she was being saved from another romantic disaster. She comforted herself with the company of her cat, Mozart, and her dog, Picasso. Mozart because he loved to run across the piano Jessie had kept since her childhood, and Picasso because, when she rescued him, his paws were covered in paint. Admittedly, she hadn't played the piano for years, and it took up a lot of room. But she had a sentimental attachment to it, and her straight-faced answer to anyone who asked her why she kept the baby grand in her small apartment was, it would mean Mozart would have to give up his piano lessons. Sure, she was happy, but she also secretly hoped she would find someone with integrity, who had a real job, was self-aware, mature, reliable, loyal, kind, generous, and available. Fat chance. Lately, her friends were warning her that she was too picky. But after a couple of failed romances, she preferred the word cautious. Thankfully, she wasn't one of the walking wounded or desperate. At least not yet. So she had a different perspective than many of her listeners. Jessie encouraged her callers to find their own passion, to be their own person, and she was keen on pumping up people's esteem. Broken relationships often create broken people, she would point out. She wanted to help people mend, but she stressed that doing so required self-reflection. Are you being true to yourself? Do you feel that you have a purpose, and are you fulfilling it?